Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. In today's webisode, we're going to find the prime factorization of a number. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it. When finding the prime factorization is a product of prime numbers, perhaps with some repetitions, resulting in a desired number. The two ways to do this, or the steps to follow, is to find the prime factorization of the number you're starting with. Then you're going to write down all the prime factors in order from least to greatest. This may sound confusing, so let's take a look at an example to see if that can make a little bit more sense for you. If I was trying to find the prime factorization of the number 20, I'm going to break this number down. When looking at this number, I have to ask myself, we're going to do our factor tree here, I have to ask myself, what two numbers can I multiply together that will equal 20? Well, I know that 2 times 10 would work, and I know that 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it because I can't factor that number out anymore. When I look at 10, I know 10 is a composite number, and I can factor that out. I know that I can make it 2 times 5 to get 10. 2 is a prime number, and 5 is a prime number. So I've just factored out my factor tree here for 20. My second step then is to write my numbers from least to greatest. Well, I have 1, 2, times another 2, times 5. So the prime factorization of 20 is actually 2 times 2 times 5. Now you might be sitting there at home and thinking, well, there's also another way you can break down 20. And you're correct, there is. I could have started off by doing 4 times 5. I know that 5 is a prime number. I can't do anything else with that 5. But 4 is composite. I can break 4 down into, you guessed it, 2 times 2. So if I do 2 times 2 over here, 2 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. I'm going to follow step 2 again and write them from least to greatest. 2 times 2 times 5. Wait, what's that? You notice something that's similar in here. You're right, the prime factorization is exactly the same, but I took 2 different paths to get there. In this problem, I started with 4 times 5, I broke it down, and I ended up with 2 times 2 times 5. On this side, I started with 2 times 10, and I still ended up with 2 times 2 times 5 as my prime factorization. Either way works. What I always say is work with the one that's most comfortable for you. Let's take a look at another example here. If my number was 16, again, we're going to follow our 2 steps. The first step is to, find the prime factorization. So for 16, let's start with 2 times 8. I know that 2 is a prime number. I can break 8 into 2 times 4. 2 is a prime number. I can break 4 into 2 times 2. I have no more factors to factor out. So the prime factorization of this one is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Take a look at our next side over here, 16. Another way I could do this one would be 4 times 4. And then I could break up 4 times 4 into 2 times 2. And I could break this 4 into 2 times 2. So the prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Again, we've ended up with the same prime factorization, but we've taken 2 different methods to get there. Now, here's a helpful point to help you when you're writing out these prime factorizations. If you don't want to write out 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we can use exponents, and I can just write it as 2 to the 4th power. It saves you a little bit of writing there, and it means the exact same thing. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is the same as 2 to the 4th power. Okay, our next one, again, the best part of our video. Go ahead, take out your paper, have your pencil handy, and I want you to take a look at the prime factorization of 12. See if you can come up with 2 methods to get the prime factorization. Go ahead and pause that video. Okay, when looking at 12, one way you could have broke down 12 is to do 2 times 6. 2 is a prime number, and you can break 6 into 2 times 3. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. So you could have done 2 times 2 times 3. Oh wait, what's that? You wrote it a little bit differently too? You could have done 2 to the second power, because there's 2 2's there, times 3. Either answer would have been correct. This one you were just using exponents, and it saves you a little bit of writing. You could have also done the problem another way. If I take a look at my second one here, I could have done 3 times 4. 3 is a prime number. I can break 4 into 2 times 2. I can circle those numbers, and again it's going to be 2 times 2 times 3, or 2 to the second power times 3. Hopefully your work matches what I've done up here. You just found the prime factorization of 12. Remember to check your factors and make sure every time you circle a number, it's a prime number, that there's no more factors that goes into them. Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Mr. Lainer's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.